is a new class action lawsuit has been filed against Disney involving the Disability Access Service, which probably coincides with what we talked about last week, where they changed the wording by taking out a single word out of it, describing who qualifies for the DAS pass.
I believe you are correct. So so yesterday I guess it was last week, we mentioned that they had updated the verbiage on the website and took out the word only. So instead of saying the update, it says like the strict guests to the service due to the developmental disability like autism or similar disorder are unable to wait in a conventional queue for an extended period of time. And they took out the word only out of that. And I think it was in response because they knew this lawsuit was coming. So they just went ahead and updated it.
More than likely.
So what the lawsuit is basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing because obviously it's a lot, but it's basically, it's a class action lawsuit being filed against Disney and Advent Health actually due to privacy laws, because you're giving more like your medical information. And the fact that the accommodations they were offering weren't sufficient enough, basically, were the two things. It's filed in California, and this is more against California than it is Disney World, I believe, because in California, you can do this whole process where you talk to the cast member, you talk to the Advent Health nurse, and you can speak to like in public. So you're talking about your information in the front of the park. And that was a big part of it because there's some California law that they were talking about with that. And then as far as the accommodations they were offering for people that didn't qualify as like return to queue or stuff like that, they're saying that isn't sufficient for a lot of these disabilities or accommodations or special needs that these people are needing. So we figured that this would happen. I think we even said it like before this was instituted. We're like, there's going to be lawsuits.
I would assume. Yeah. I'm actually surprised I hadn't heard about it before now, but it makes sense with the timing that they changed that verbiage on saying only there. But I don't know.
I think that's.
Is there
funny.
Advent Health out in California?
Yeah, that's the company that does it.
They handle that for Disneyland too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, they're all over the lawsuit. So
okay. I thought that was more of a regional like Florida thing than it was. Also something in California, but I have no idea about stuff in California.
Oh, it's actually Inspire Health. My bad. Not Advent. It's Inspire Health. Okay. I forgot who it was, but yes, Inspire is the one that does the thing. So
okay. So I say Advent's more of a
sorry. Yes, sorry. Inspire. It was inspired to say Advent. Just kidding. But anyway, so that is happening currently. If you want to read the lawsuit in its entirety, I will put it in the show notes. But yeah, I know there were a lot of people that were upset that didn't qualify starting, I think it was in June 18th, I think is when it started. Mm-hmm. And like, I can understand if you were qualified for it for years and years and years, and all of a sudden you don't, you get acclimated to like using the benefits of having a DAS. So I'm curious to see if anything that they actually did in the changes of this whole system, if it actually was like violating anything, you know what I mean? Except for the in-person interview.
Right.
But the accommodations they offered, I don't know. I guess it just depends on the individual person. If you have like a physical disability, I remember Disney was like trying to accommodate with like, okay, use a wheelchair or whatever. And I know it doesn't always help. I don't know enough about it to really make a lot of opinions about it, but just to say that we knew this was coming.
There was even instances of kids with autism that were being denied. Like even the people that was saying it was specifically for, and like, I mean, I read some articles of like kids with really severe autism. Yeah. And then they still tried to go on the trip and melt down and didn't work. And I think also it's just the fact too of like, there's probably no workaround for this, but like you have to buy your ticket and then set up the thing. So a lot of these people are even if Disney will give them a refund, you're still forking out a decent amount of money just to be able to preemptively see if you're going to qualify for this. And again, we talked about before, we've never used the system, so I can't speak to it. So I have no idea versus how it was versus how it is now. All I know is there's a lot of people who have been very upset with the way the new system is, very restrictive on who gets it, and seemingly almost like just a crapshoot on who's going to qualify for it. And I can imagine that being very stressful.
Sure.
If you've got people in your family or yourself that are trying to plan a trip, and then this is another obstacle or hurdle you got to deal with. So I've always hoped they would come to more of a resolution, maybe like Universal did, where they sort of have that like day of pass you can go get. You can still qualify for the other one that they have that I think it's for like 18 months or something like it's a longer period of time in which you have it. You've got it for a while. But yeah, it's been a source of controversy for sure. But it's one where I just don't have an opinion on it because we've never used it. So I don't really know. I understand both sides of the situation. So. But I don't know from a legal standpoint if Disney has done anything that's technically illegal or, anything like that. But
yeah.
So I guess in the comments or online, let us know if you have any experience or what you think. Because I legitimately really don't have an opinion on it other than it does look bad when you've got, severely injured people that aren't able to get a DAS or even some kids with autism that can't get it. Like it doesn't look good. But I don't know other than that, really, the logistics of it.
Yeah.